Alrighty. Alright. What's up, guys? Zalin Pound here. As always, I'm going to be reviewing Game of Thrones Season 4, Episode 10, called The Children. As I try to load up the comments, let me just say my general thoughts. First of all, I don't, like, as a book reader, I would say this episode, more than, like, any other episode, would be one of those mixed feelings episodes. I still liked it, but I'm gonna go into why I kind of have mixed feelings about it. Um, I do have to admit, though, something that not a lot of people admit is there were actually quite a few parts in this episode that I liked more in the show than I did in the books. But let's start with the fact that this episode was very, very hyped. People were saying it would be the best episode. I even thought personally that it would be the best episode of Game of Thrones. Period. Have some of the best scenes, and in a way, it kind of fit that mold. You know, it was kind of the best episode. I would say it was one of the best episodes, but I don't think it had the very best scenes. If you catch my drift, namely, I think that the scene with Tyrion at the end, we're going to get to that, but I still think the Tyrion trial scene had a lot more oomph to it, you know. But this scene with Tyrion at the end, nevertheless, very, very good. But let's get into it. We're going to start and go all the way down because the one thing I can say about this episode, it had the most plot progression in it, you know. We got the most answers to storylines, and we got the segues into next season, which is really always good to get. So first of all, Jon going to negotiate with Mance and the Stannis arrival. Let's talk about all of this stuff first. Okay, so first, Jon goes over, clearly wants to talk to Mance. He said he's sent to negotiate. The wildlings do let him through. Now, a lot of people last week were saying, you know, they don't know why the wildlings would spare Jon. It's a stupid idea walking into 100,000 people. But you have to notice this. Something that I don't think the TV show did a great job at explaining, but it was the case, is that the wildlings were extremely well, they weren't outnumbered. How do I explain this? The wildlings were tired, they were cold, and they were basically being attacked by both sides. They were being basically worn out by the White Walkers. You know, they were a huge force in, as Mance said, enough of my people have bled, enough of my people have died. They were, in fact, being, we didn't get any sort of sign that Mance's forces were being whittled down by the White Walkers. We didn't get any sort of, the TV show just didn't give us any sort of it didn't tell us the right things. But basically, I really don't think they did a great job at explaining, especially before Mance said that Mance's army wasn't like this huge destructive force that just was about to roll through everything. It was huge. They had numbers, but they weren't really looking for an all-out war. More so, they were just looking for protection. Yes, as Mance said, they were looking for protection much more than anything else. They, of course, they needed to fight to get that protection, but Mance's army needed protection, and I do think they ruined the hell out of this, especially the Stannis part when Stannis comes in and Jon's negotiations. Because another thing they changed from the books that was, I don't know, it was just kind of stupid, is that they took out a whole another element that was in the plot. When it came to Mance's army, Mance actually had an ancient weapon, some kind of horn that was supposed to be able to bring down the wall. That was supposed to be an element of the battle. It was actually supposed to bring down the wall. I don't remember all the specifics, but I do remember the books. This was done a hell of a lot better. And no, I'm not just trying to be a book hipster. I'm not trying to do that. I'm honestly saying they kind of screwed it up. You know, I imagine a lot of people that watch the show are confused. You know, like, why the hell did Mance surrender to Stannis? I thought they had 100,000 people. Stannis isn't even supposed to have that many men. Stannis's forces are supposed to eat all that kind of stuff. It's not so. They just didn't do a fantastic job at explaining all of it. So I wasn't really. It was still a cool scene. Stannis came in. You gotta respect Stannis, but you gotta say they really, especially book readers will know this. They really didn't do this part properly. But yeah, the wildlings again, key point here that you need to pay attention to, or it really won't make any sense, is that the Wildlings weren't looking for a fight. They had to fight to get what they wanted, but they weren't looking for a fight. Mance would have been more than glad to accept Jon's proposal, he making a proposal of his own, more like it. He just wanted protection. He didn't want to fight. He just wanted to get over the wall. He did not even want to attack Westeros. He just wanted the Wildlings to get out of beyond the wall, because that is basically a death zone, because the White Walkers are pretty much wreaking havoc on everything over there. And as he said, winter is coming. Even the Wildlings aren't safe from winter. So that's the one part of the plot. Now, implications of Stannis coming to the wall. As you can see, Melisandre had sort of a stare down with Jon Snow. Stannis knows, of course, Jon Snow's presence at the wall. So now we gotta know. Well, I'm not gonna spoil anything. Of course, I never tell any spoilers in these reviews, but you gotta think about the implications of this. What could happen because Stannis is at the wall? Why is Stannis at the wall? And honestly, I have to say, a little bit of hope going into the future, if you did not enjoy this part, is that this storyline beyond the wall is going to get pretty interesting. The theories are going to start coming out next season, and things are going to get pretty crazy at Castle Black. So yeah, just some hope for the future. But as far as my thoughts on this scene, I think they kind of screwed a few things up, but it is how it is. Let's see. The next scene was with Pycelle and Maester, well, ex-Maester. I guess he got fired from the Maester's circle or whatever. Qyburn. I think it's Qyburn. I think it's how you say it. But whatever, yeah. Pycelle pretty much got fired. He just got dropped because let's all be honest. Pycelle's an idiot. Pycelle's an idiot, and he deserves that 10 times over. Even though Cersei's just being her normal stupid self by firing Pycelle, I just gotta say I hate Pycelle too. So whatever. Goodbye, Pycelle. But Qyburn, we're gonna have to look out for this guy in the future. Pycelle said, Qyburn was removed. He had his chains taken away, and he's no longer a true Maester. They thought his curiosity was unsafe. I think Pycelle worded it. His curiosity was unsafe. And we're going to probably see why. He's working on keeping the Mountain alive, the Mountain who has been poisoned by basically the deadliest poison in the Game of Thrones universe, Manticore venom. He has been poisoned by Oberyn's spear. Oberyn did tip his spear with poison, if people were wondering, as it was said. So the Mountain is basically 100% going to die, like Qyburn said. He's beyond saving. But Qyburn, on the other hand, said, I might be able to bring him back. I might be able to do something here. And he's like, well, he's gonna. Do you mind if he undergoes a little bit of change? I'm gonna assume he said, like, he meant this dude's gonna be a completely different guy when he wakes up. Like, he's gonna do some black magic shit to bring the Mountain back to life, I think. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, Qyburn, whatever comes from this, I'm pretty sure the Mountain's gonna be a fucking boss in the future. So yeah, that's the Pycelle thing, the whole Mountain thing. Let's see. Okay, now we have the Tywin and Cersei scene, followed by the Cersei and Jaime scene. I'm just gonna bunch these together. Okay, let me just say this. You know how Jaime had that little rapey scene with Cersei where he's just like, I don't care, and he just had sex with her in front of Joffrey's body? This was basically the reverse of that. Jaime's like, we can't do it here. Someone's gonna walk in. She's like, I don't care, and they just started going at it. But before that, the scene with Tywin and Cersei. Damn, Tywin. I think this is the moment in Tywin's life where everything he's done, his style of raising his children, just came back all at once to bite him in the ass. With Jaime, he raised him, I guess, kind of right, but he didn't keep a close enough eye on him. With Cersei, you can see that she was clearly neglected and raised wrong. Therefore, she had incestuous relationships with Jaime and right under Tywin's nose the whole time, and she never noticed it. And he ignored the rumors. He never tried to look deeper into it. He was just so concerned in upholding the family's image that he missed basically the most obvious form of screwing up the family's image that he could have possibly made. So that really sucks. Um, And with Tyrion, he never considered him a son, and that was a huge mistake. Obviously, when it comes to this scene, the fact that he never considered Tyrion his true son and mistreated Tyrion all his life led up to the final scene of the episode, which ultimately screwed Tywin over in the biggest way possible. But yeah, the fact that Cersei grew pretty much some big balls against Tywin. She's like, oh yeah, me and Jaime have been fucking all these years, and you've never noticed. And you could see that affected Tywin. Tywin immediately knew. I mean, that's the kind of thing Cersei would not lie about. So to get what she wants, I think this scene just showed us, to get what she wants, Cersei will do anything and risk anything. That Cersei, even though she's a bitch, she cares about her children and she cares about Jaime. Those are pretty much the only things she cares about in this world. So yeah, that was a pretty interesting scene. Um, but yeah, holy shit, that was actually I think that was a pretty the Tywin scene with Cersei was good. The Jaime scene with Cersei was kind of disgusting though. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, next scene. Okay, the next scene was the Daenerys scene. First, let's talk about the part with the slave that wants to return to the master, because I found that pretty interesting. You know, we've seen a lot of the drawbacks of what Daenerys has been doing. You know, how Daenerys' policies concerning the slaves were completely wrong. We've been talking shit all this time about how Daenerys is like she flip flops on all of her policies, and she fucking did it again. She got this guy asked to be returned to his master. For all we know, this dude could have lied through his teeth. His master could have threatened him. His master could have held one of his friends hostage and asked him to do that. He could have just been like a fake slave. We don't know. We have no. Daenerys has no clue who this guy is, but decides to basically change a law just because this guy begged, and that is just beyond me. I mean, why could the common sense, Daenerys, common sense. If this guy really wanted to go back to the master, they could have made an agreement. This guy could have been like, okay, I'll work for next to nothing. He could have done something like fucking that. Like, he could have done this by himself. Why did he even have to go to Daenerys for this? I don't know. And why Daenerys would make a completely new law for this, I have no idea. And she basically is one of the worst rulers. I mean, come on. Like, come on, Daenerys. And Barristan right after that. I don't know why Daenerys doesn't just talk to Barristan right then and there to decide which policies she makes. Because right after she said it, Barristan's like, you're a dumb bitch. That's basically what Barristan said after she let the guy go. Barristan just like, you're a dumb bitch. The Masters are clearly going to take advantage of this. But as we know, Daenerys is just really, really stupid. Oh my god. I love Daenerys. Like, I love Emilia Clarke. I love the actor. I love Daenerys. Like, I actually like her character. I like her character. I'm going to admit it right now, but she's really stupid. That's all I have to say. So, oh yeah, the next scene is with the guy that comes in crying because the dragon ate one of her kids. I mean, one of the guy's kids, which is a shame. And this is the one thing I kind of agree with Daenerys on, locking the dragons up, because if the dragon did that again, if people get wind of the fact that the dragon's killing kids, they're gonna not like Daenerys very much. Like, basically, I don't know, all kinds of conspiracy theories might start up about, oh, Daenerys she freed the slaves so she can feed them to her dragons, or, you know, some stupid like that. And I mean, it's just not right. I mean, if these dragons, imagine if you had like a pet dog or like a pet, I don't know, pet lion, or I don't know what the fuck you have as a pet, but it just went around and started eating people. You kind of would, I would think that you just go ahead and, you know, lock it up, put it down, maybe give it away. You cannot have your pet going around fucking eating people. I mean, come on. It just isn't good. But yeah, I have to admit, though, the scene was kind of sad when Daenerys led her dragons into that cave. They were eating, and she put the chains on them. She was crying. And when she walked out, the dragons wanted their mommy. They were like, no, mommy, don't leave the cave. And she had to roll the stone back over, and she was crying. So that was sad. But I think something to look out for that a lot of people might not have noticed. I don't know if you did. Daenerys has how many dragons? 3. She has those 2 little ones, and she has a fucking giant one, and his name is Drogon. Now, Drogon is who knows where. I think they said they saw Drogon. Someone said they saw Drogon like flying over like a bridge or something. But Drogon's the huge one, and he's probably the one who killed the kid, I think, and he's still on the loose. So, bam, there you go. Drogon, fucking still out there, still at large. And I think he's hungry. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, that's the dragon scene. Okay, so then we have the scene with um, Tormund and Jon. Again, I say this every week, but Tormund's character kind of got screwed up. But I think this episode, I liked the Tormund. I liked the show Tormund this episode. You know, it was interesting when Jon asked him, "Oh, do you have any words to say to the dead?" And he's like, "The dead can't hear us, boy." And you know, Tormund honestly cared about Ygritte. You know, he was sad that Ygritte died. Jon was apparently also sad. You saw Jon crying when he had to burn Ygritte's body. But yeah, Tormund. I did like show Tormund this episode, which is something you won't hear me say honestly, because show Tormund's a pretty bad character in comparison to book Tormund, of course. Not trying to be a book hipster again. Wow, I just really did that. Not trying to be a book hipster again, but yeah. All right. Okay, let's see. Next scene. There really wasn't too much to talk about in that scene. They did burn all the Night's Watch members that died in the battle. They burned them. Aemon said like a little, you know, and now their watch has ended. That was really good. So yeah, that was not too much to talk about in that scene. Okay, so this is one of the bigger scenes in the episode. The one with Bran. Okay, so Bran, Jojen, Mira, and Hodor all making their way to this place where the Children of the Forest are. Get this. They get attacked by whites. Now, this part pissed me off as a book reader. Pissed me. You know what? No, I'm not going to do this yet. Let me skip real quick to the Arya scene, because this is a scene that I liked more in the show than in the books. Because I know I'm starting to sound like a real like TV show hater. I'm starting to sound like a book supremacist, and that's really not what I am. I like the TV show a lot. Okay, so I'm going to start with this scene, the one with the Hound and Arya, because this is the scene that I really liked more in the show than in the books. Holy shit. In the show, it was pretty shitty. In the books, I'll tell you, the Hound just died because he got basically a wound that just festered, and he died from like a wound. No fight, no nothing. He just died from like a wound that got like really bad, and he eventually... well, I'm not going to say died, because we didn't see the Hound die. That's another thing I'm going to get to. But yeah, that's how he was taken down, I guess. In this, it was a misunderstanding, and a perfectly reasonable one at that. Okay? Brienne had the Lannister gold sword, Valyrian steel mixed with Lannister gold, and the Hound and Arya, rightfully so, knew it was Lannister metal. They knew that. So they thought Brienne was paid off by the Lannisters to bring Arya back to King's Landing. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. So the Hound and Brienne had a fight, and damn, that was a good fucking fight. Brienne at one point punched this dude in the balls. Oh my, like, it was an insane fight. It was literally they went blow for blow. They were very, very, very even. But eventually, the Hound does lose. And I like how Arya and Podrick were just watching the whole time. They're just chilling. But yeah, two things about this scene. The part where Arya and the Hound were having the final Sandra's final moments together I think that was a really, really well done scene. I really, really liked that scene. I think it was very, very well done, very well acted out. I thought the Hound was about to cry at one point, like, please kill me. But in the end, Arya decides she wasn't going to kill him, which I think was the right choice on Arya's part. Now let me talk about the second part, the second thing that I think. I don't think the Hound is dead at all. Why? Because we know George R. R. Martin, and we know that when he wants to kill somebody, he kills them. He shows us the dead body. He shows us the dead body or them getting a fatal wound and dying. Now, Sandor was left screaming. This episode for me pretty much confirmed it, because Sandor was left screaming, "Kill me," but Arya didn't kill him. And in the books, he had a wound that kind of festered, and the same thing happened. He told Arya to kill him, and she didn't kill him. She just walked away. Now, that leads me to think that this dude's still alive. How and why and what he's gonna do in the future, I don't know. Now, another reason I think he's alive is I think he needs to have a sort of fated encounter with the Mountain, his older brother. That would only make sense that he has to fight him again. Sandor, or well, people know him as the Hound. Because we know the Mountain's already gonna live, or we assume he's gonna live and go through some kind of change because of what Qyburn said, and we think, I don't know, it's my theory that the Hound's also gonna live. And what better way would it be to kill off one of these characters is to have them, the two brothers that hate each other, fight. I think this is kind of a fated fight that's gonna have to happen eventually. So that's another reason I think he's alive. But yeah, really good scene, and I did honestly like one of the scenes that I would definitely say was better in the show than it was in the book. Also, by the way, if you are watching this, go ahead and like the video so we can get more people watching, and asking questions at the end because I will be answering a lot of questions at the end. All right, so now let's go to the scene that I hated in the show, or disliked in the show. For a few reasons. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail about why I didn't like it in the show, but let's just say there's a certain character that is supposed to be present in this scene that they completely just fucking removed from the show. Book readers, you know who I'm talking about. A certain character named Cold Hands that should be having a really big impact on the story in the future, but he was completely removed. So, whatever. Now, as far as the actual scene went, I thought it looked pretty damn cool. The skeleton's well animated. The fight scenes are very well animated. Mira fought, Hodor fought, Bran working into Hodor. What is Bran's direwolf's name? I cannot believe I forgot. Not Shaggy Dog, not Ghost, not Grey Wind. Summer. I think Bran's direwolf's name is Summer, if I'm correct. Anyways, the direwolf came. That was pretty well animated, honestly. But yeah, I thought it was a really well animated scene. Of course, when the child, I guess, of the forest came out, and she's like, "Come in this cave. We're gonna show you. This is where you need to go. Leave Jojen." I was like, "No, Jojen." I mean, honestly, Bran's storyline right now is my least favorite in the whole show, in the whole series, book and show. But I did feel for Jojen, even though I wasn't too big a fan of his character. I did feel for Jojen. Dude's dead, and I couldn't help but to think that he's gonna turn into a White Walker. Like, this dude is 100% turning into a White Walker, like 100,000%. He's like literally like right outside, right? His dead body is literally like on top of like 20 White Walkers. So yeah, it was But I think that was a good scene. The fireballs the child of the forest threw, those were really, really well animated too. Really like those. So yeah, very well done scene. Bran, of course, makes it inside the cave. The whites cannot get in the cave. It has some kind of protection on it. And then we see this dude who's pretty much like merging with the tree. He's literally merging with the tree, this guy. But yeah, he's sorry about that. Okay, but yeah, this guy's like literally like you can't even tell how old he is. In the book, he's supposed to look like he's ancient, like just really, really old. But yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Bran's storyline, so I didn't think this scene was too like, oh my god, it was amazing. But yeah, it was a pretty good scene. But then we got the last bit of dialogue that Bran is not gonna be able to walk ever again. He's going to be able to fly. So what that means, I don't know. We're gonna have to find out. Okay. All right. Now we get to the second to last. Actually, let's end on the Tyrion bit. So now we're gonna get to the Arya, the second Arya scene where she gets on the boat and she wants to go to the Wall to meet up with Jon Snow, but then she finds out the boat is actually going to Braavos. Now, I think Braavos is kind of her second choice because, of course, she knows Jaqen H'ghar from there. She knows Syrio Forel was there, which was her dancing master. She just knows a few people from Braavos, and, of course, she has the coin. Why not use the coin that Jaqen gave her? If you don't remember, that's the guy that helped her break out of Harrenhal, the faceless man who assassinated 3 people for her. So, yeah, I think that was a really solid. It was just a, I mean, it was a scene to transition to show where Arya is going to be next season, which is going to be Bravos, obviously. Going to be Bravos. Okay, so the final scene with Tyrion. Let's get down to this because this is the scene that was pretty good. Granted, I still think the Tyrion trial episode has kind of an edge, but this, for people who didn't know what was going to happen, should have probably been the best episode, the best Tyrion scene of the series. So, we find out that Varys has sent Jaime to set Tyrion free. Now, let me note this. Let's note this, first of all, that Varys is also going to be on the same ship that Tyrion gets on. We saw Varys on the same ship. So Varys is trying to get his ass out of King's Landing, too. And he figured, probably, why not bring Tyrion? So yeah, but Jaime comes to escort him out. I don't know why Jaime didn't stay with Tyrion and make sure he got all the way where he needs to be. Because what Tyrion does is he just figures, I think he just went, you know what, let me go check on my dad. Let me just go, he probably planned to kill Tywin, like, period. But yeah, he went to Tywin's chambers. And he sees a girl on the bed, face down on the bed, clearly naked, clearly has already had sex, and he sees that it's Shae. And Shae immediately, I guess her first reflex was to pull a knife on him. And they had a struggle, a tussle, but Tyrion strangled her with the chain, with the gold chain that was on her neck. That was a sad scene. Tyrion's face, the acting was absolutely phenomenal. Damn, it was impactful, especially if you didn't know what was going to happen. That must have been like a hell of a plot twist, literally a hell of a plot twist. By the way, just saying, if you are watching this, like the video so we can get more people in here and start asking questions, because after I discuss this scene, we're going to go over to the question answering portion. But yeah, it was pretty impactful. The Shae's death, how Tyrion strangled her, and you could sense the insanity. This dude, when he's done killing her, he said, "I'm sorry." Like, damn, it was pretty crazy. Okay, so the only gripe I have with this scene is that, for all you book readers that are watching this, there were some lines that they didn't say. Where whores go line, the line in the book where I think Tyrion says Tywin Lannister doesn't shit gold when he found him on the bathroom. There were a few of those iconic lines that you expected to hear that they didn't really include. But yeah, Tyrion goes to the bathroom because that's where Tywin is. That was his original intention, to go in the room and find Tywin. He finds the crossbow, and he points it at him. And he's like, Tyrion said, they were having some dialogue, you know. Tywin was trying to sweeten Tyrion up. He knew Tyrion was at that point at his wit's end. Tyrion was mad. Tywin knew. So he was trying to say nice things to Tyrion. You are my son, you know, I wasn't going to kill you, you know, I care about you. Like, he was trying all this shit. But Tyrion wasn't having it. And Tyrion then says, I loved her, about Shae. And then Tywin said, what, that whore? And Tyrion's like, I dare you to say whore one more time. Tywin shouldn't have said whore the second time. Tyrion shot the first bow, and I was just like, oh my gosh, Tywin. You could see how surprised Tywin was. I don't think Tywin actually thought that Tyrion would end up shooting him. I think that Tywin thought that Tyrion was bluffing the whole time. But damn. But yeah, eventually Tyrion did empty the whole thing into Tywin, and that was pretty. I mean, for me, the reason I'm not gonna be as shocked about the scene, because I already knew it was gonna happen, obviously, because I've read the books. But the reason why the Mountain versus Oberyn scene had like a amazing effect on me is because it was better done in the TV show than it was in the books. Like, the scene, it was gory, it was just mind-blowing. This scene wasn't as mind-blowing, but I still do admit it was well done. It was very well done. They took out a few iconic lines, but it still had pretty much a similar impact, I would say, than it did in the books. The scenes just had pretty similar impact. Very good scene, though. So yeah, tell me what you guys thought about this episode as a whole. Tell me, anything you noticed, stuff like that, because I'll be answering all the questions you guys have. Just gonna look at the comments real quick. Son of a whore. Oh yeah, when Jamie came in and Tyrion is like, "You son of a whore," and then Tyrion's like, Jamie's like, "Is that any way you speak about our mother?" That was a pretty funny scene. Hey Larry Williams, you're my commander in chief. Otaku Assemble weekly. All right. Why, man? This episode could have been perfect. In truth, the episode was great, but fuck it. Revealing LH right at the end would have been perfect. I'm distraught. Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know. I do think they could have done this episode better. With all the hype surrounding it, with all the season finale, Game of Thrones, like I expected it to be a bit better, and they could have made it more perfect. They could have made it more perfect, but they decided not to. They just said no. But damn, I do think it could have been a lot better. I think they did, in fact, mess up with this one. Not a terrible, catastrophic screw up. It was just a little mess up. A little mess up. But damn, isn't it ironic that they're showing this episode on Father's Day? Freaking Tywin. It is ironic they're showing this on Father's Day. Jojen, why you were a boring, useless character, but why? Hey, man, I'm not a Jojen fan, but he is the reason that they made it. Like, he led them there. He had all these visions. Come on, do it. Let's show at least a little bit of love for Jojen, a little bit. Fuck you, Zalad, and this is your fault. Hey, what did I do? No idea what I did. Let's see. Let's see the comments. Do you think Dany chaining her dragons will make them lose their connection to her? I think it's going to have negative effects on both Daenerys and the dragons. But I still do think she made the right choice. I mean, I don't think she really had any other choice in that situation. Tell them to stop eating humans. I don't know if they listen. I mean, unless she just kept. I don't think she. Okay, actually, I think chaining them up was a little much. I think she could have just kept them in a confined area, not chained them up per se. Kept them in a confined area. Made sure they're well fed at all times. Don't let them hunt. Feed them yourself. I think that's probably what she should have done. The fight between the Hound and Brienne was so fucking good. I agree. I loved that fight. That was absolutely amazing. It was absolutely amazing. I think that was done brilliantly. I would not have changed a second of that fight. I would have not. I think this TV show did it so much better than it was in the books. Very good fight. Nah, man, we needed the LSH scene to have it revealed and then have the screen. I think so too. I think so too. I think that would have been the perfect way to end it. I'm coming to this late. What do you think they could have done better? Okay, I'll take it from the top. I think they could have done the Jon Snow scene better. I think they should have explained more about why the wildlings surrendered, why they could not have fought Stannis. They just showed like a slaughter. They didn't show any more giants. They freaking screwed that up catastrophically, I think. The Jon Snow scene, no mention of the horn that could bring down the wall. I think that scene was a pretty big screw up. They took out Tyrion and Tywin's like their iconic lines in their scenes. The "Where Whores Go" line, the Tywin Lannister didn't shake gold line. They could have what else could they have done? I was talking about during the episode a lot. If you, I can't think of anything else right now. But if you go back and watch like a bit of this, I think you'll find like there were a lot of things that could have done better this episode. Let me see. Let me look over the scenes. I think I might be forgetting a few things maybe. Oh yes! The biggest thing they could have done better. They could have put Cold Hands in, if you know who that is. They completely just removed Cold Hands' character from the show. Like, he just doesn't even exist, which I think is stupid. Because he should have been with Bran and the others when they went over there. Haven't watched the episode yet. Got to download, but did the Hound say those awesome lines? They changed the Hounds. They changed it completely how they did the Hound. The Hound's going out, if you want. I don't want to call it death because I don't think he's dead, but they changed it completely. Did they show LSH and the Children of the Forest? Children of the Forest, yes. LSH LSH. No, I think they should have shown LSH. When do you think they'll add the sex scene between fake spoilers OP? Fake spoilers OP. I wish that was a scene. I wish that was a scene. Um, what do you think the show leaving out Tyrion finding out Tywin? What do you think of the show leaving out Tyrion finding out Tywin and Jamie? Hold on, I can't see the whole comment. Oh, duped him into dumping his wife years ago. That was the key part of why he wanted Tywin dead. Yes. Okay. Yeah. That. See, I forgot about that scene. I think leaving that out was a big mistake, which is why I honestly recommend everyone to at least. I think they should have. Everyone should read the books because I really forgot about that. That was actually a huge part of why Tyrion killed Tywin, because I believe Tyrion and Jamie had a conversation beforehand, and Jamie told Tyrion the truth about his first wife, and yeah, I think that was pretty much the biggest reason why Tyrion killed Tywin. So they should have put that into. I think they had a lot that they could have put in that they just decided not to, and I really don't like. That's just adding to how much I don't like everything that happened. I don't like some of the things that happened in this episode. They seem to find it more important to have an extra Cersei and Jaime sex scene than to add that key moment. Yeah, I do agree. I rarely say that a Game of Thrones scene was completely pointless. I thought the freaking Beetle scene had some kind of point or some kind of deeper meaning, but there was no reason to have that one scene with Cersei and Jaime. That was literally a useless scene. I do agree 100%. They should have definitely taken that out and put more dialogue between Jaime and Tyrion, because that was really rushed. By the way, if you're watching this, go ahead and like the video, so we can get more people asking questions. I'm gonna end this off as soon as we get like a few more questions in. I'd say I'll answer like 10 more if we get 10 more. If we don't, then I'm just gonna end it. But yeah, a lot of people are coming late. If you did come late, I would appreciate if you went back and watched the review. Let's see. Any more questions here? Any questions about the episode at all? Just go ahead and feel free to ask. Anything else I forgot to mention, or yeah. Okay, okay, I do have a question. I have a question actually for the book readers. Okay, yeah, there was something called the Horn of Winter in Song of Ice and Fire. The Horn of Winter. Is that it? The Horn. Yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah, the Horn of Winter, which was a big element in the books of the fight at the Wall. Mance was said to have found the Horn of Winter, which I believe claim. Oh yeah, okay, there we go. I just looked it up. All right, so apparently the Horn of Winter is supposed to be a horn, an ancient horn that when you blow it, it destroys the wall. Now, I believe this is true. I believe the claims that when you blow it, it destroys the wall are true. Now, they completely took this out of the show. There was no Horn of Winter, and I'm not quite sure why they took it out. That was supposed to be a huge element. That was supposed to be Mance Rayder's trump card to end the war without fighting, and I have no clue. Again, I just honestly have no clue why they took it out. Like, so many key elements from the books that they should have probably added, they just completely ignored. In the case of the Horn of Winter, it's a perfect example. They definitely should have added that one. I think that was definitely like a no-brainer. Tell me where she is. I knew Bresboy would come. I know, Brez. They should have put LSH in this episode. They really should have, and I think they screwed up by not putting her in. Honestly. They didn't add the Hound. I should have fucked her bloody and ripped her heart out before leaving her for that dwarf from the books. Oh, okay, yeah. They did put that. They did put that. They didn't put the dwarf part. They said, I believe the Hound said, your sister, your pretty sister, I should have fucked her bloody. I think that's what he says. Not the dwarf part, not the heart part. Actually, I enjoyed this episode. I see a lot of whining about LSH and this and that and the other. Yes, I've read the books. Yeah, I do agree. It was an enjoyable episode, honestly. I really enjoyed everything. The only part I honestly didn't enjoy, like 100%, like from a non-book reader standpoint, from if I'm watching as someone who didn't read the books and is just watching it, I would say the only part that wasn't great was the part with Mance Rayder because they made it really confusing to people who don't read the books. Like, why did the wildlings surrender? That's probably on most people's minds. Why did the wildlings surrender? Um, and why were the wildlings so weak? Like stuff like that. Um, I don't recall the fight with Brienne with the Hound from the books. Yeah, the Hound in the books died from an infection. He didn't die fighting Brienne. That's why I said I liked that scene with Brienne and the Hound a lot better. I liked it better in the show than I prefer this way of the Hound, quote unquote, dying than I liked the book part the book version where he just got infected. Ironic that Tyrion killed Tywin on Father's Day. Yep, I was saying that too. Sorry, what were those skeleton things? I'm pretty sure they were supposed to be wights. Like people, I think they were supposed to be. You know how there were a bunch of wars back in the day. Like back in the day, there were wars like Fist of the First Men, where like people like thousands, like huge armies fought in that part of the that part of the North. I think those were pretty much the skeletons from that time, from that battle long ago, that were brought back by the White Walkers. Ask him again. I don't think he noticed. I'm not sure. What did I miss? Did I miss a question? Um, Zaladin, it's about time we had the road trip that the anime community talks about. Oh, wait. Let me. I need to expand these comments. Okay. To HBO corporate. Yeah, I mean, dude, I wish I could help write the episode. I'm not even kidding. I wish I could help. I wish they would let me help a little bit. They need to dumb it down for the casual viewers. If they put in more characters, the casual viewers would get confused and wouldn't be able to follow. I mean, I agree somewhat, but like I think they're underestimating people's brain power. Like people should be able to keep track of like I can think of at least 5 more characters that they could have added honestly without making it too complicated and making it more interesting. I think HBO is just being a little cheap when it comes to hiring actors. Like, come on, just hire people. Just hire like fucking 3 or 4 more people. Call it a day. Hire Cold Hands. Hire Gren and Pip didn't have to die. Damn it. Anyways, that's just a personal gripe. Zalvin, the way the Hound was left, I don't see a Clegane Bull coming. I think it has to, man. It would just be. I'm like, okay, I'm not even kidding. I'm like 90% sure the Hound's alive. He has to fight his brother. He has to. I mean, that has been kind of hyped, and also the fact that we didn't see a dead body. I think in Game of Thrones, I think it's like you need to see a dead body or they're not dead. By the way, again, if you're watching, like the video so we can. Sorry, yeah, like the video so we can get more people in here asking questions before this ends off. I think we're gonna end in like a minute or so, unless we get some more. Now that I think about it, if they added LSH, it will mindfuck non-book readers. It will just be too cluttered and it won't make sense to them. I guess you can look at it that way. I think that's kind of. I mean, I think it would be more. Yeah, it would mindfuck them, but some people like to be mindfucked. I like mindfucks. I do. I think they're thrilling. Okay, Brez, I'm reading the comment in my head. I was thinking the same thing, dude. I was thinking the same thing. Did anyone else notice the actor for Mance has this like mouth thing where he goes like, I'm gonna try to do it. He's like his mouth is just stuck like this the whole time. Like that's kind of weird. Arya isn't gonna die. Let me read the comments myself. It's the final book came out today. Who do you see still standing? For me, it's Arya and Daenerys. I think Arya might die. I think Arya might die. Like I'm being completely honest. Like all revenge-based characters, I think die. Um, Let me interrupt this question real quick. I'll answer it, but if we didn't see the Hound die, he's alive. I agree 100%. If we didn't see him die, I'm pretty sure he's alive. Like we usually when characters die in Game of Thrones, they're not afraid to show them dying. So I see the people I see honestly alive. Bran, 100%. Cersei, 100% Cersei. Um, don't ask why Cersei. I just have a hunch, man. I have a hunch. Okay, so Bran, Cersei, um, Jon, um, I don't see Daenerys living through the whole series. The only one I'm sure of are Bran. The only ones I'm sure of are Bran, Cersei, and Jon Snow. Those are the only three I'm sure of. I'm curious, why did the three-eyed raven say you will fly to Bran? I think Bran, I mean, it's three-eyed raven, maybe Bran will be able to warg into... Okay, yeah. Here's why I think it, and I haven't heard anyone else saying this yet, but I honestly think that Bran's going to be able to warg into a dragon. I think Bran, by the end of the series, is going to warg into a dragon. Oh, Bresboy just said it. He just said it. Yeah. I think Bran's eventually going to be able to warg into a dragon. I don't want to go back, sorry. Thoughts on Jojen and no paste? I'm not sure what no paste is supposed to mean. But thoughts on Jojen? I mean, Jojen is... I'm not really a huge fan of Jojen's character. Like... Hold on, give me a second. Okay, sorry. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of Jojen's character. I really don't like him too much. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, like honestly, I'm honestly just not a big fan of Jojen's character. Period. To be completely honest with you, but if I remember correctly, I mean, I'm not a fan of Bran's storyline, to be honest. But if I remember correctly, in the books, he didn't die, so I think they just killed him off for no reason. Whatever. I guess it helped the TV show watchers be more satisfied. But I'm not a big fan of his character, so I really didn't care, to be 100% honest. But I don't think there's any reason to kill him. I don't think there's any reason to, but whatever. Do you think Tywin was jelly of Jaime? Also, did Varys leave in the books? Yes, Varys left in the books. Him and Tyrion are on the same boat. Do you think Why would Tywin be jealous of Jaime? I don't think so. I don't think Tywin was jealous of Jaime. Well, was. I don't think he was. I can't say is because this dude's dead. Goodbye, Tywin. Bloodraven's lair was exactly as I picture it, given his design, 7 out of 10. Yeah, I mean, again, not too big a fan of Bran's storyline, but I have to say, I mean, I actually think the Child of the Forest looked kind of weird. Like, but I honestly, like, if this was real, like, I expect it would look freaking weird. It's a child. It's supposed to be like a kid. But you're sure Cersei will be alive at the end of the series? I think so, honestly. Okay, because, damn. Okay, yeah. You guys do know about Maggie the Frog's theory, her prophecy. Cersei needs to be alive at the end of the series, or at least alive longer than all of her children because of the prophecy. Your joy will turn to ashes in your mouth. So someone younger and fairer than you will, whatever. You will die. You will live to see all your children die. Like that was all a part of Cersei's prophecy that Maggie the Frog made for her. So I do think that Cersei's going to be alive at the end of the series. But one other reason I do think that is a spoiler, so I can't say it obviously. I'm not going to say the spoiler reason, but book readers, I think you know why I think Cersei will be alive at the end of the series. Yes, I totally agree that Bran will warg into Danish Dragon. John will be the one writing it. Yeah, I mean that's I think Bran. I mean that should be the his end game, working into a dragon. I think that's the goal here. Um, all right. Any more questions? Any more questions, anyone? All right. I'll wait. I think about another minute. If there are no questions, I'm going to go ahead and end this off. I think I will be doing probably a lot of book discussions in the future. I think I'm going to do for TV show watchers. Now that the season's over, I'm not going to be reviewing weekly anymore. I'm going to be doing character analysis from the TV show. I'm going to do a lot of the lore, like Tywin's backstory, stuff like that. I haven't got chances to do it, but now that the season is not even going on anymore, I think I'll have time to do a lot of the lore stuff for the TV show watchers that don't know a lot of the lore because it's not included in the TV show, like Rhaegar Targaryen stuff, Tywin Lannister's like early life. Who else? Stannis' backstory, Littlefinger's backstory, Ned Stark's childhood, like stuff like that. I'm going to be doing videos like that for book readers. I'll be doing Winds of Winter predictions. When Winds of Winter comes out, I'll be doing Winds of Winter chapter reviews. But yeah, stuff like that. A lot of predictions and stuff. So you can look forward to that. I'm almost dropping because of no LSH. But if I board Kevin isn't in S5 episode 1, dude, you're making me sad. Kevin Lannister is one of the characters that has honestly like been shafted in the show. Like Kevin Lannister, which is Tywin's brother, is a badass. He's an amazing character. But yeah. So I think that's like one of the things that I don't like about the show, just the Kevin Lannister stuff. They shafted his character. But there's hope for the future. There's hope for the future of Kevin. The mountain is well being turned into some sort of mutant. Yeah, he's there. Qyburn is doing some black magic sorcery shit to the mountain. So we're gonna see what happens with that. Winds of Winter predictions come on. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing those. Kind of the generic things to do for Game of Thrones fans in the off season. But yeah, I recommend all of you guys. I recommend you guys reading the books if you haven't read the books. They're really, really fun, and I promise they're not going to be like boring, like you probably think a book would be. They're really good books. Good. Winds of Winter chapter reviews. I'm reading that in one sitting, dude. I'm going to be reading it in one sitting, but I'm going to be stopping every chapter to make a review. I'm not even kidding. I think I will. And if I don't, I'll go back and make reviews of like the really good chapters. I probably will read in one sitting. I'll probably just go back and make reviews, and then make what's the book after that going to be called? Song of Summer or Dreams of Spring? Wait, Game of Thrones book 7. I think it's Dreams of Spring. Yeah, A Dream of Spring, which is going to be book 7. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I'm going to be doing Dreams of Spring predictions. All right. The Uncles and the Sand Snakes next season. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, it's going to be exciting. Next season's going to be really good. I'm going to love next season a lot. Yeah. So I think that's it, guys. I honestly think that's it. I think we got it. That's it for the review. Not too many more questions rolling in, but yeah, in the comments, what I want you guys to do, of course, like, comment, subscribe, but in the comments, put what you want to see from me before next season of Game of Thrones, whether you want to see reviews, whether you want to see like book chapter reviews, character analyses, character backstories, anything you want to see, anything at all, just go ahead and put it in the comment section. I'm going to try to do all of them before the before too long. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Glad you guys could all see the review. For those of you guys who came late, I would really appreciate if you went back and watched. Thank you. Peace.